All right, mathematicians, here we are. We're going to be learning about the distributive property. So your book needs to go ahead and be open to page 485. And while you are setting up, I'm setting up. So make sure you have a pencil and you are ready to go. And we are just going to jump right on in. Let me move this where it's supposed to be. There we go. All right, we're going to jump right on in into the distributive property. So starting on page 485, let me zoom in here. We're going to take a look at this question. Of course, it's a baseball one, so of course we're going to do it since I love baseball. So here we go. It says 3 friends went to a baseball game. We know 3 friends went to a baseball game. Each ticket cost $20, and all 3 friends bought a baseball hat for $15 each. So, what does the expression 3 in parentheses 20 plus 15 represent? Let's break it down. What does the 3 represent? That represents the friends, because there are 3 friends. What does the 20 represent? That is the ticket cost. Okay, and what does the 15 represent? That represents the hat cost. So how much the hat costs. There we go. So we broke it down. So now we know what each of those mean. So now it says evaluate the expression. So we're going to do what's in parentheses first. So we are going to do 20 plus 15, which is 35. Then I'm going to take 35 times the number of friends, which is 3. So that's going to give me $105. So for this answer, we know that the total cost for three friends and their tickets, and they each bought a baseball hat, is going to cost a total of $105. Now let's take a look at this question. It says, what does the expression 3 times 20 plus 3 times 15 represent? What does the 3 times 20 represent? That represents the cost of 3 tickets. Okay. Then let's take a look at what 3 times 15 represents. That's the cost of 3 baseball hats. And we'll just say hats to make it easier. Awesome. Well, let's see what happens here. So what happens if we multiply 3 times 20? We get 60. What happens when we multiply 3 times 15? We get 45. Now, what happens when we add 60 plus 45? We get $105. Notice that they are both the same answer. Is that a coincidence? No, because there's no coincidences in math. We just solved this problem 2 ways. Okay, so this talks about the distributive property. So flip over to the next page and let's go ahead and get started. So what is distributive property? In words, right here, to multiply a sum by a number, multiply each add-in by the number outside the parentheses. So, for example, if there is a number outside the parentheses, I am going to distribute it or multiply it with the numbers inside the parentheses. So really, this becomes 2 times 7 and 2 times 4, and then I'm going to add them together. So what does that look like in algebra if we were just using variables? Super easy. Means that we're going to multiply a times b to get ab, and then we're going to multiply a times c to get ac. Remember, when we have them together, it means you're multiplying. Okay? So let's take a look at this example right here. Okay, it says 9 times 4 1/3. So we want to try to do this mentally using the distributive property. What we're going to do is we are going to break down that number of 4 1/3 into a fraction and to a whole number. So we're going to break it down into 4 1/3. So what really happens is I'm going to do 4 plus 1/3, and I'm going to multiply those by 9. Okay, so now what does that really mean? That means that I'm taking 9 times 4 plus 9 times 1/3. When I do this, I know that 9 times 4 is 63 plus 9 times 1/3, which, again, quick review, I'm going to multiply my numerators, multiply my denominators, I get 9/3. That's an improper fraction, okay, which means I have to know how many groups of 3 I can make from 9, which is 3. So therefore, it's really 3. Okay, or I can, remember, divide it out. It gives me 3. So when I add 36 plus 3, I get 39. All right, let's do an example together to where we would distribute and break this down. So we're going to break this down into 2 and then 3/5. Okay, so now I'm going to move it over here because I just don't have enough room. So I'm going to take 5 and I'm going to multiply it by my whole number. I'm going to distribute it to my 2. Plus, I'm going to take my 5 again and distribute it with my 3/5. Now I'm ready to solve. 5 times 2 is 10 plus we can do 5 over 1 times 3 over 5, which gives us 15/5. And when I divide that out, I know that it is 3. So I get 10 plus 3, which is 13. Okay? Now, let's break it down a little bit more using the distributive property to where we're actually going to be working the problems out. All right. Use the distributive property to rewrite 2 in parentheses x plus 3. Now, I love this visual. Notice that this is x plus 3. Notice there's 1x plus 3 1s. How many of these do I have? Well, I have 1, 2, hence why we're multiplying it by 2. So there's a picture if you need a picture or a visual. All right, so what happens is we're going to take the 2 and distribute it with the x. So we're going to take 2 times x, which gives us 2x. And then we're going to distribute the 2 with the 3, and we're going to take 2 times 3, which gives us 6, and we're going to have our plus sign or whatever sign is in the middle. Okay, so now let's practice. Let's take a look down here. 8 times x is 8x. You should be drawing these arrows too. Now we're going to do a plus sign. I did the plus sign, but we're going to do 8 times 3, which is 24. So when I distribute it, I know that I got 8x plus 24. Now let's do this one. 9 times 5 is 45, plus distribute the 5x gives us 5x. So 45 plus 5x. Now, friendly reminders. Friendly reminder. What number is in front of this x? It is a 1. So think about it. If I'm taking 5 times 1x, I'm going to get 5x. So it's 5 times 1. So keep that in mind. If there's not a number in front of this variable or any variable, it's automatically a 1. All right, 2 times x, or 2 times 1x, which is 2x, plus 2 times 3, which is 6, which gives you 2x plus 6. All right, let's take a look at this problem over here. It says we're going to make a problem, but we're going to work it out together, okay? It says each day Martin lifts weights for 10 minutes and runs on the treadmill for 25 minutes each day, okay? So it says write 2 equivalent expressions and then find the total of minutes that Martin exercises for 7 days. So every day for 7 days, he lifts weights for 10 minutes and, there's my plus sign, and runs on the treadmill for 25 minutes. So there is one way to write it. Now, the other way to write it is we can take 7 times the 10 minutes that he weight lifts, so 7 days a week for 10 minutes, plus 7 days a week times 25 minutes. So now we're going to solve. We're going to solve both. Okay, so we're going to distribute. 7 times 10 is 70. And then we're going to take 7 times 25, which is, let's see, 8, 2, so that's going to be 175. And when I add them together, I get 245 minutes. Mrs. Horner just did that really quick mentally in my head. Okay, I hope I did it right. No, I know I did it right. Okay, here we go. So 7 times 10 is 70, plus 7 times 25 is 175. And when I add those together, again, if you need to see it over on the side or you use your handy-dandy calculator, you are going to get 245 minutes. All right, let's move over to the next page on the guided practice. Maybe. We're going to do these problems together. So let's take a look at number 2. We are not going to do number 1, but we're going to take a look at 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to distribute this. We're going to do 3 times x, which is 3x, plus 3 times 1 is 3. Now next one, we're going to take 5 times x is 5x, plus 5 times 8 is 40. Here we go. 4 times x is 4x, plus 4 times 6 is 24. That's the distributive property. Let me see if I want to do this one. Yeah, let's do this one. It says we're going to do number 7. It says 6 friends are going to the state fair. The cost of one admission is $9.50. And the cost for one ride on the Ferris wheel is $1.50. It says write 2 equivalent expressions and then find the cost. So that's what we did in the other example. So we're going to do this one together. So we're going to take 6 friends, and it's going to cost $9.50 plus for them to get in, and then $1.50 for the Ferris wheel. Now, if we were to break that down, I kind of don't have a lot of room, so we're going to kind of build it down here. So we're going to do 6 times $9.50 plus 6 times $1.50. So if I have $9.50 plus, times my 6, because there's 6 people, that's going to give me $57. And if I have 6 people times my $1.50 for the Ferris wheel, that gives me 9. And so when I add 57 plus 9, that's going to give me a total of $66. So it's going to cost them a total of $66. So that's broken down one way. If we come back to this way and we distribute and we do 6 times $9.50, we're going to get 57 plus $6 6 times $1.50, that's going to give us 9, which is still going to give us a total of $66. Okay, for them to go to the state fair, to get in, and to do the Ferris wheel. All right, good job. This is part 1 of lesson 6. We're going to do part 2 another time, but there you go. You have the start of the distributive property. Again, quick reminder, when you have the parentheses, a number outside the parentheses means that you're going to distribute it. You're going to distribute to whatever numbers are inside. Okay? You're doing awesome, mathematicians. Keep it up.